Hi everyone, I'm Miss Heather, one of the youth librarians at the Cromaine District Library, and I'm back to share some of my favorite middle grade titles with you. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love reading scary stories in the fall, especially during the month of October. With that in mind, I'm going to share some of my favorite spooky stories, or stories that definitely have a creepy feel to them, and they're all going to be great for middle grade readers. So the first one is Watch Hallow by Gregory Funaro. So when Lucy and Oliver Tinker arrive at a place called Watch Hallow, everything seems perfectly normal, even though they came for somewhat bizarre reasons. A mysterious stranger made their father an incredible offer. Fix the clock at Blackford House and you will be rewarded with gold coins. It doesn't take long for the children to realize that there is more to Blackford House than meets the eye. And before they can entirely understand the strange world they've stumbled into, Lucy and Oliver must join forces with a host of magical beings to defeat the Gar, a vicious monster that not only wants Blackford House for itself, but also seeks to destroy everything the Tinkers hold dear. If you love Goosebumps or The Doll People by Anna Martin, you'll probably like this one too. This is a spooky little book with just enough mystery and suspense to keep readers on the edge of their seats. All right, so the next one I want to tell you about is Stuffed by Liz Braswell. So Clark is absolutely obsessed with stuffed animals, even though his parents think he's way too old for them. What Clark's parents don't understand is that the stuffed animals protect the house from danger. Follow Clark as he meets new like-minded friends, acquires even more stuffed animals, and tries to convince his parents that he needs the stuffies for everyone's safety. This was a quick, creepy read packed with action and adventure that is perfect for kids who know their stuffed animals are keeping them safe from monsters at night. What I thought was really cool about this was the text was interspersed with directions to make your own stuffies and interludes from Foon, who is Clark's newest stuffy from his grandmother's. So it was just really fun to read that while reading the book. The next one I want to tell you about is called Scary Stories for Young Foxes by McKay Heidicker. This book is almost always checked out, and I totally understand why, because it's so good. And in fact, it's checked out today too, which is why I'm just showing you a picture. So young kids want to hear a scary story, one that will really chill their bones. They go to one of the older foxes who is known for storytelling and is said to have the scariest story anyone has ever heard to try to make that wish come true for them. This story is definitely scary, but not too scary, and it's super engaging and well written. Uli was my favorite character, but I also really loved Mia, and there were so many surprises throughout the book. This is a great read-alike too for fans who love a tale dark and grim. Next up is The Forgotten Girl by India Hill Brown, and it's about this girl named Iris. Iris feels like an outsider in her mostly white town, and others make her feel like that too. In fact, she's constantly forgotten about by others, and the most recent example was her being the only team captain not invited to the Young Captains Award ceremony at school. She finds solace with her step team and loves hanging out with her best friend Daniel. One day, Iris and Daniel stumble on an old forgotten grave that sets them up for an epic dive into their town's segregated past. This book is super well written and fast-paced, and both elementary and middle grade readers will enjoy it. It also gives a super age-appropriate introduction to segregation. And I also really loved Iris and Daniel's friendship and the ghost story aspect of this book. I actually read the whole thing in one sitting. So if you like history mixed in with your creepy tales, definitely check this one out. So if you've never read Neil Gaiman, you definitely have to check this book out. Have you ever seen the movie Coraline? Well, the movie is actually based on the book Coraline. And if you aren't familiar with the story, Coraline and her family move into a new house, and it isn't long before Coraline goes exploring, like you do. While going about her adventures, she comes upon this locked door, and when she finally gets it open, it leads to a brick wall. Until one day, it doesn't. and Coraline finds herself in a super long passageway. When she gets to the end, she is in a house almost identical to hers, only it's not. I mean, there's a mother, a father, they both look exactly like her parents, but something is definitely off. And even creepier, they want her to stay with them forever. Can Coraline escape? Does she even want to? This is such a creepy book that will leave readers in suspense throughout the text, wondering what's going to happen to the characters. So the next one up is Spooked, How a Radio Broadcast and the War of the Worlds Sparked the 1938 Invasion of America by Gail Jarrow. And this one is just about like the concept of fear and hysteria. So on the night of October 30th, 1938, thousands of Americans panicked when they believed that Martians had invaded Earth. What appeared to be breaking news about an alien invasion was in fact a radio drama based on H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, performed by Orson Welles and his Mercury Theater players. Some listeners became really angry once they realized they had been tricked, and the reaction to the broadcast sparked a national discussion about fake news, propaganda, and the role of radio. This was such a great book. It's really, really interesting and engaging. And this is actually based on a true story. This really did happen in the 30s. So definitely check this one out. The next one up is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. So Cassidy Blake's parents are the inspectors, a somewhat inept ghost hunting team. But Cass herself can really see ghosts. In fact, her best friend Jacob just happens to be one. When the inspectors head to ultra-haunted Edinburgh, Scotland for their new TV show, both Cass and Jacob come along too. In Scotland, Cass is surrounded by ghosts, and not all of them are friendly. Then she meets Lara, a girl who can also see the dead, but Lara tells Cassidy that as an in-betweener, their job is to send ghosts permanently beyond the veil. Cass isn't sure about her new mission, but she does know the sinister Red Raven haunting the city doesn't belong in her world. Cassidy's powers will draw her into an epic fight that stretches through the worlds of the living and the dead in order to save herself. This was such a fast-paced, heart-pounding book, and I truly loved that it took place in Edinburgh, which is one of my favorite cities. People who love suspense and thrillers will enjoy this one. So the next one up is called Nightbooks by J.A. White, and it's super similar to the Middle Eastern compilation of folktales, 1001 Nights, but it has a super modern, creepy twist to it. So Alex is lured into a witch's lair, imprisoned, and in order to stay alive, is forced to tell a new terrifying tale each night. There's one big problem though. He's almost out of stories, can't think of any new ones, and is worried he'll be imprisoned forever. Will he find a way out of this twisted place? Fans of scary stories or Grimm's fairy tales will definitely enjoy this one. All right, so this one is Seraphina and the Black Cloak by Robert Beatty. Never go into the deep parts of the forest, for there are many dangers there, and they will ensnare your soul. These are the words of Seraphina's pa, and she has never had cause to disobey him. She's a lucky girl in that she has the complete grounds of the massive Biltmore estate to explore, but there's one problem. She must never be seen by residents. You see, nobody knows that the maintenance man has a daughter, and they definitely don't know that she lives with him downstairs in the basement. Seraphina doesn't mind though. She's happy to live within these limits until something really awful starts happening. The children in the house begin to disappear, and the only person who knows what happened is Seraphina, who witnessed one of the children get taken. She risks absolutely everything and forms a friendship with a boy named Braden, a nephew of the owners of the house, and they hope to stop the person responsible for the disappearance before it's too late. This is such a creepy, atmospheric book that will leave you peeking behind corners, making sure nobody else is around you. And it's such a great read for October. Great, so the last one I have for you today is called Small Spaces by Katherine Arden. And this is actually our tween book club pick for this month. So if you are or were a fan of Goosebumps or American Chillers, you definitely have to check this one out. So Small Spaces is about a girl named Allie. After she experienced a huge tragedy, the only comfort she finds is in books. One day, she's going for a walk, minding her own business, when she sees this lady who's threatening to throw a book into the river. Allie can't stand to see anything bad happen to a book, so she steals it and runs away. When she begins to read the book, she discovers a really creepy story about a girl, her brothers, and this eerie specter named the Smiling Man, who grants the wish you desire most, but you have to pay the ultimate price in return. Allie soon finds herself on a class trip to a farm called Smoke Hollow and stumbles on something shocking: graves that list the names of the people in the book she found. Could this story be true? Well, Allie doesn't have long to wait for an answer. The school bus breaks down on the way home, and as the bus driver leaves the bus, he says, "Best get moving. At nightfall, they'll come for you. Avoid large places. Keep small." And with that, the adventure begins. So as of right now, we still have a few spaces available in our book club this month. Feel free to sign up and join us. If you need a copy of the book, we can put one on hold for you as well. And we actually have a box full of activities for this book too. Are you interested in any of these books? If you'd like to check out one of these titles, place a hold through our catalog and we'll let you know when it's available for pickup. Or just stop in to see us. You can also send us an email at youthandteen@cromaine.org if you have any questions. We're always happy to help. See you next time.